Hello and welcome to this no-sew crochet pumpkin tutorial. Today I'll be showing you how to crochet this pumpkin. Let's get straight into it. So the materials that you will need are a 5mm crochet hook, a yarn needle, scissors, 12mm safety eyes if you would like your pumpkin to have a face, some sort of weight 6 yarn in orange and brown. I'm using Premier Parfait chunky yarn. Finally, you will need stuffing. Also, if you would like to embroider a smile, then you will need some thin black yarn. To begin, you will want to grab your crochet hook as well as your brown yarn. And we're going to start off by doing 4 single crochets into the magic ring. So, I like to use the 2-chain method to make my magic ring, and that's how I'm going to show you how to do it. So to begin, you are going to make a slip knot with your brown yarn. And tighten it. And then you are going to chain twice. So 1 and 2. And now our 4 single crochets into the magic ring will go into this first chain here. So we'll start off with 1 single crochet. And then we will do 3 more. Now for round 2, we will do single crochet increase times by 2, which will take us up to 6 stitches. So in the first stitch, you'll do a single crochet, then in the second stitch, you'll do an increase, third stitch single crochet, and fourth stitch increase. An increase is doing 2 single crochets into 1 stitch. Now we are just going to single crochet for 3 rounds straight. So for the following 3 rounds, from round 3 to 5, we will be single crocheting all the way around. Now for the next round, we will be doing 6 increases, and this will take us up to 12 stitches. After you've completed this round, you are going to want to switch to the color orange. So I'm just on the last increase now, and I'm going to grab my orange yarn and I'm going to finish off this last increase with my orange yarn to color change. Then I'll tie the dark brown and the orange yarn together in a double knot. And now I'm going to cut off the remaining tail for the dark brown yarn. And then I can just tuck it inside for future rounds. So I don't need my stitch marker quite yet, as I can sort of see where my orange yarn has come in now, but I will be using it soon. But first, for the next round, we will be doing single crochet increase times by 6, and this will take us up to 18 stitches. So we'll do a single crochet in the first stitch, then an increase in the second stitch, and then repeat that pattern all the way around with your orange yarn. So I'm just going to pop my stitch marker in right now. I just like to use a little bit of scrap yarn as my stitch marker. And now for the next round, we are going to do 2 single crochets and an increase times by 6. And this will take us up to 24 stitches. So once again, a single crochet in the first stitch, a single crochet in the second stitch, and then an increase in the third stitch. And you repeat that pattern all the way around. Now for the following round, we will do 3 single crochets and an increase times by 6. And this will take us up to 30 stitches in total. Now for the following round, we'll do 4 single crochets and an increase times by 6, and this will take us up to 36 stitches in total. So now we are going to begin with our rounds of single crochet. So we are going to do 4 rounds of single crocheting. So we will single crochet all the way around for the following 4 rounds. So go ahead and do that. So to start off with the decreasing, we're going to do 4 single crochets and a decrease times by 6. This will take us down to 30 stitches. Now for the following round, we are going to do 3 single crochets and a decrease times by 6, and this will take us down to 24 stitches. Now for the following round, we will do 2 single crochets and a decrease times by 6, and this will take us down to 18 stitches. So we're just going to add some stuffing to the pumpkin at this point in time. Don't try to add too much stuffing to the stem, don't worry about that too much, just add stuffing to all of the orange part. So now we're going to figure out where to put the safety eyes. So I want my safety eyes to be between rounds 13 and 14. And I'm going to make my safety eyes around 6 or so stitches apart. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'll clip these in. And now we can continue round. So for the next round, we'll do single crochet decrease times by 6, and this will take us down to 12 stitches. So for the last round, we are going to do 6 decreases, and this will take us down to 6 stitches in total. So once you've done your 6 decreases, what we want to do is we want to leave quite a long tail. So I just want about as long as my hand, about 5 times. And then I'm just going to cut it off about here. And then we are going to pull through with our hook to finish off. So once we've finished off, you are now going to sew your pumpkin shut. So we're going to go in and out of the front loops only at the bottom of the pumpkin, all the way around. So we're going to put our hook into the first front loop here. And we're going to pull through. And then we're going to put our needle into the second front loop and bring it out of that loop. Then into the third front loop. Out of the fourth front loop. Into the fifth front loop. And out of the sixth front loop. Then we're just going to pull to close up the bottom of the pumpkin. So now we're going to begin shaping the pumpkin. So we're going to begin with doing a line right between the eyes in the very center. We're going to bring it up from the bottom and we're going to bring it to this point right before the stem starts. So right in the center still, but we're just going to bring it to that point here. And then bring our yarn needle immediately back to the bottom of the pumpkin. So we'll just pull through a little bit. And you can see there's this line here, but we're just going to pull so we can bring the tail through. So now we have this line right here and we have all of our yarn at the bottom of the pumpkin. See this line? We're just going to pull the tail really hard. And now we're going to do our next line, and that's going to be just on the outside of the eyes here. So our next line is just going to be right next to this eye. Just going to bring it up to the stem and then back down straight to the bottom. I'm just going to pull through the tail. So now we have a line here. We just want to move it over a little bit to make sure it's right next to the eye. And then once we're happy with the positioning, we can pull just like we did before. So just like that. And now we're going to do our line on the other side of the eye, so in the other eye. And we're going to take our yarn tail to the top where the stem is again, and bring it back down to the bottom. And just make sure that that line is right behind the eye here. And then we can pull once again. So it looks a little bit weird right now, but once we do more of the lines, it will look good. So next we're going to do a line here. So you can see we've got our 1, 2, 3 lines here. So now our next one will be here on the left side. And we're just gonna bring our yarn tail to the top near the stem once again, and then straight back down. And then we will just position this where we want it to go. And then once again, we can just pull through, pull very tightly, just like that. Now we need one on the opposite side to the one that we just did. Same thing again, bring it to the top and then straight back down to the bottom. And then we pull to tighten. Now finally we need one right at the back. So we will just do our final line right at the back so that we have 6 lines in total. And then down to the bottom, pull the tail through, and then ensure that our line is in the right spot at the back in the center, and then pull. And that's your final line at the back. Now we're just going to go in and out of the bottom a couple of times just to make sure our tail is secure. So I'm just going to bring my yarn to a random point on the body, and then we can just cut the remainder of the tail off. So now it looks a little bit weird right now with its eyes like this. So we're just going to add a smiley face, and we can add some blush as well. So you're going to grab your thin black yarn and we're going to embroider the smiley face first. So we're going to just bring it in from up here, and we're going to bring it to in between the 2 eyes. So here's the center point. We're just going to bring it to this stitch here. So I'll show you how I'm doing it. So I'm just going to bring it to that stitch there. So I'm just going to bring it straight across in a line. So just to the matching point next to the other eye, and then I'm going to bring it straight below to the center point. So just like this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of bring the yarn needle underneath this, just like this, and then pull, so it makes this sort of V shape. And I'm just going to go back into this center stitch here and then bring the remainder of my yarn tail back to the original point. And now you have a little smiley face on your pumpkin. So now you're just going to cut the remaining yarn tails off a little bit and then tie them together. And then poke them inside with your yarn needle. Now finally I'm just going to add some blush, and I'm just going to embroider the blush in the 2 stitches underneath but next to each eye. So yeah, about here. So I'll just bring it in from here and I'll go ahead and do that. And this is the completed pumpkin. I hope that you enjoyed crocheting your pumpkin. If you did, then make sure to subscribe as I upload free tutorials every week. If you'd like any other Halloween patterns, I do have a ghost and a bat pattern currently available on my YouTube channel. But thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!